please welcome to the stage our first speaker, Energy Impact Partners and founder and managing partner, Hans Kobler. Hans, great to see you.
Seeing you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Whew, well, okay, in one word, how has your Davos been since you arrived a few days ago?
Very boring.
Very boring.
Probably the most interesting one, exciting one so far. And I'm glad half of you didn't see the speech because it's a tough act to follow, at least from a discussion perspective.
So how many WEFs have you been to?
This is my fourth.
So you manage a $5 billion worth of assets at your Energy Impact Partners. You know, the biggest takeaway that I think the conventional wisdom is that climate is not on the agenda. But how is it for you? Are you seeing people not talking about climate as much, or are you talking about energy from an AI perspective? How are you seeing the
I think what is on the
change?
agenda more than ever is that we need to create power that is affordable and that is available to power this economy, to power AI. There's a lot of AI going on, as you have seen, and AI, the critical bottleneck is energy. And I'm dating myself, having been in this world for, when Enron walked on water and I did with GE some of my pioneering, it has never been more exciting than today from an energy perspective, because we have more growth, unprecedented growth in our sector, unprecedented innovation. I think we only see the downside now from a climate perspective of AI, where it needs a lot of power and it has to be there quickly. But what it will do, it will make the processes much more efficient. It will lead to innovation that we have not seen that makes us optimistic. And we have never seen better use cases for clean technology, for good energy technologies to be deployed. So we are actually optimistic with all the noise that you see in the world right now.
So it sounds like you think the AI boom is lifting up the clean tech and climate tech community, even as it faces some headwinds with Trump.
In the midterm, in the near term, it's we need every power we can get. So it's a bit of a drag on the environment.
So we heard in the speech, in case you were not listening, he did talk. The president had a lot of his common talking points, but which I will not repeat, but one that I found interesting was about nuclear power. He said he had earlier reserves about it, but that lately he's been more supportive, and he thinks, nuclear energy is going to solve all our AI problems. Where do you see it in your portfolio?
There is no one silver bullet that fixes the challenge that we face, right? So we do need nuclear. I think that was a mistake to neglect nuclear. We have a lot of our corporate partners that are engaged there. We have an investment in Elemental that is technology agnostic and works with hyperscaler to deploy it quickly. So it will have a role to play. It just won't be there next year, or it will take a while. So you need other solutions in between to provide the power, to reduce power consumptions, to make it more flexible. So we need all hands on deck for the situation that we're currently in.
One of the longest standing challenges of clean energy and a lot of issues in the conservation space and clean energy space is that it's expensive and consumers aren't willing, and even companies aren't willing to pay the price. How are you seeing the prices of the technologies that you're investing in? How are you seeing the cost curve of those technologies? Are they coming down?
Most of the core generation technologies have a history of coming down incredibly, whether that's storage, whether that's generation technologies. And I don't quite agree with that the clean technologies are not competitive.
I welcome disagreement, Hans. Thank you.
The two key themes that we face right now is we need power quickly and we need it affordably, right? And if you look at that 2x2 matrix, right on the top comes out is actually software and smarts that use the power we have at the right time. We may need to double our energy supply in the next 2 years. We may need to have 5 times the peak power. So if you have flexible load that you can tell a data center, hey, don't compute here in Virginia, move it to Texas when there is excess power, like a company called Emerald AI does, it's a great way to shift it. If you have a flexible backup power system, like we have in one of our portfolio companies, Enchanted Rock, that is there for backup power, but you can use it as prime power or as flexibility load, you can modulate that. So there are a lot of pragmatic solutions out there today that actually are much more cost effective. The unit economics today are better for many clean technologies than ever before.
And do you think that's something that's reaching, if not President Trump, average people around the world, that we're actually reaching an inflection point where, to quote the name of this panel, putting profits toward the planet, where those two things are actually going together for once? Do you think that's something that's well known?
It's the best recipe to actually get to a clean future is if the unit economics work. And I think that was neglected in the two peaks in the past. And I think we're getting closer than ever for it, if you take the full cost into account, to make sense. A lot of the technology will have to be not only generation, will have to be on the transmission side. How do we get more electrons through an existing grid infrastructure? How do we have a company called Infravision that cools ASICOOL that cools down the wires to get more electrons through that. So there are a lot of pragmatic solutions out there today that allow us to really get to a cleaner planet, get to more power, and do it cost effectively.
So government policies definitely lessening in the United States. A lot of the clean energy subsidies that had been in place, some of them really did stay for nuclear energy and geothermal, but it's inevitable that there is a slowdown in policy in the United States and even here in Europe. How important is policy to continue that downward trend for energy prices and new clean energy technology costs?
Well, 70–80% of the technologies we need are ready to be deployed. So there it's more about being able to build something. There used to be a saying, not in my backyard, it's been replaced through bananas, build absolutely nothing near anytime soon. Right, so it's a challenge to build things, and I think we need to start building things, and that's where the politics and regulation can help, making it easier to build things. Some of the emerging technologies, they benefit from subsidies, but I think with the growth that we see and the innovation accelerating with AI, there were 6,000 patents filed out of AI on this sector lately. You will see a lot of innovation that may not need that much support to get to a successful future.
So that's really interesting. I want to double down on that. So, you're a venture capitalist, you're a businessman. President Trump says he's a businessman. Is it possible that, clean energy can take off even more than it already has with the policy that we have on the table now?
Well, it is already taking off a good time. We still build a lot of solar and wind farms maybe outside the U.S.
But we're far from
of that taking off. You see a lot of storage taking off.
But we're far from climate goals.
Well, that is a different. It's a much harder challenge to do that in that growth scenario, and that's why I think we have to take a step back and then accelerate. It will take a bit. First, we need to provide the power, and then clean will come.
Do you think the AI boom has been a net positive or a net negative for addressing climate change?
Near term, it's a drag because of the consumption. In the midterm to long term, it will be a positive. So I'm hoping we step one step back and then we go two steps forward.
How is AI, how are you and with your companies that you're investing in, how is AI helping to accelerate some of the innovation that's happening? Are you seeing that yet?
We see it on the, I'm coming back to affordability. Affordability is a big topic for our corporate partner. We have more than 80 corporate partners. You see the beginnings of massive savings with AI. You see the smarts coming to where I'm coming back to the company Emerald AI that allows you to shift around the compute power with data centers. And
are you an investor in Emerald AI?
Not.
Yet. Is that what you're saying?
And I said not.
Not. It's an interesting way to answer.
We've seen other companies. We just sold one of our companies to IT, a company called Urban. They used AI just to detect wildfires and things. So I think the potential of AI is there. We have not seen the full potential yet. We're just scratching the surface.
And if you were here earlier this week at Axios House, we did have the founder of Emerald AI, Varun Sivaram, here. So go on to YouTube and find that conversation if you're interested. And I will wait for an update for your answer of not. Seems like there might be something more there. In the next 3 to 5 years, which seems like a very long time because the AI boom and just the pace of change in our world right now is happening so fast, but looking at 3 to 5 years, what are some technologies that you're looking at, some new ones that maybe this room hasn't heard of yet?
I give you a couple of examples by the themes we are referring to. I mentioned We need to have more generations, so nuclear developers like Elemental are playing a role in Chantage Rock that is providing speed to power. We will have a labor shortage to build what we need to build. So we are investing in a company called Infravision. They fly drones to string conductors, transmission wires, and they do that much faster and much cheaper. So that's a good technology. We will, with all the wind and storage we have, we just had a meeting with our Polish friends, and they complained about the Dunkelflaute. We are investing in Form Energy, which provides 100-hour storage, so it allows you to bridge longer periods of time. So that's a key theme. Simple solutions like you use software and a regulatory base, like we do with a company called Spark Fund, to send distributed resources into the utility world to allow to build those networks. So those are themes I think that we will see a lot more in the next 3 to 5 years.
In our final moments together, Hans, I'd like to do a concluding lightning round of Would You Rather. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope so.
Would you rather compete with China or partner with China?
Whoa. Compete.
Would you rather use AI as your lead on every deal or no AI at all?
Use.
Would you rather change the past or see the future?
See the future.
And with that, I want to say thank you, Hans, for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.